You know, that's what that kind of- Dave Martin, we're glad you're here. We're so glad you. I'm glad everybody's here. So, oh, good. He's laughing. Dave's laughing. So there you go. So I have a cold, which means that I'm a little bit on a 4 second delay, which because of my energy level, it just means I'm normal. I can't even tell you how many times people used to say, Susie, I just want some of the drugs you take. And I'm like, I'm not on drugs. I can do all this shit sober. I can say all this stuff sober. I can do all this stuff sober. So yeah, I didn't have to take, I took some drugs when I was a hippie years ago, but I don't know. It's just, I'm a dancer and, just kind of standing there like this at the concert didn't make a lot of sense to me. It's interpretive dance. So anyway, welcome to Psycho Inspiration. Okay. It's the same. If you hear any dogs in the background, it's because I have 27. Now I have four, but it's like having 27. So there's that too. I'm going to love this one. This one is going to be so much fun. They're always fun because you know what? I bring my fun with me wherever I go in case nobody has any, right? So that's one of the things I really highly recommend is that you bring your fun with you. Uh, all right, so let me see. I want to pull up. There they are. Okay. So there was a book that I read a long time ago. Actually, who's got the book in front of me? Do you have the book in front of you, Dustin? Dustin will have the book. Um, it's a great book. It was written by Miguel Ruiz, and it came out. I'm going to say it came out in the 70s or 80s. It's been a while. It's been a minute. Dustin will find out. And I remember reading it because I was reading all the self-help books. And I got it's very quick. It's one of those books you can put in the bathroom and kind of read it every time you go into the bathroom, except now everybody has phones. I saw the funniest cartoon today where it said like a picture of an old phone booth and then a modern phone booth and then a bathroom. And that was the new phone booth. It's like because we're all reading our phones in the bathroom. So Dustin, when was this book written?
Copyright 1997.
I was going to say it was the 70s or 80s, but see that, when you're so old as I am, that's still a long time ago.
Yeah.
That's still a long time. So this book comes out and I go through it, and there's only four agreements that you have to make with yourself. And I can remember reading the second agreement, which we'll get to in a minute. And I remember saying to my codependent self, myself of taking everything personally because my dad used to say horrible things about me. So I thought when I was a little kid that if my dad says horrible things about me, they must be true. It's your dad, for God's sakes, right? So that's the trouble with childhood. You actually believe what your parents tell you. So when I first saw that agreement, I said, no fucking way. That's not happening. I'm taking everything personally. If someone's swearing at me, if someone's telling me they wish I wasn't born or that I'm an asshole, that's personal. So I just want to tell you how much fun it is to share these stories with you on my journey of how did I crash and burn and then do the things I deserve to do to create the person I deserve to be and the life I deserve to live. And this book was actually one of those things that helped me a lot. Um, and so I'm so glad that we're working on that this month a lot. And so I wanted to share that with you first. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to read the four agreements. And I want all of you to, like, you're sitting in front of your computer so you can open up like a Word doc or the note section. Welcome, George. I know, George, you're not in the witness protection program, so I know you don't have to change your name. Uh, and so, because we are recording this, all right? So be careful what you say because people are going to hear it. So
But
I'm going to,
that's not my name. My name starts with Lauren.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Excellent. That's what we should have done is everybody should have just, oh, look at Lorenzo. I love that. Lorenzo, it's so good to see you. Is that we should have all changed names, right? Carol, you could have been Susie because Carol's just as much as a girl's name as a guy's name, right? So yeah, you could have been a wonderful woman. All right. So, so here we go. And you know what I love about being sick, like having this cold and everything? It's because, like I said, I'm on a 4 second delay and I don't give a shit. So it's kind of like being high, right? It's kind of like being high the few times that that's happened to me. All right, so here they go. Here's what you're going to do. I'm going to read these. And you're going to take a few seconds and then you're going to write down whether it's bullshit or a good idea, whether or not you're willing to consider doing it. Okay. So you're either going to write BS, I'm not doing that, that's bullshit, just like I did with number 2, or you're going to write down, yeah, I'm willing to practice this one. And then you guys, if you want, only if you want, can share what you wrote down and why this one would be a hard one for you to do or one that you're not willing to do. Because, see, we're open like that. We're not here asking everybody to be a goody two shoes. We want the reality of your struggle because I had such a huge one with number 2. So here they are. The first one. I don't know why he just didn't say stop lying, but he said, be impeccable with your word. To be impeccable with your word. And if you don't know what impeccable means, it means to have no weakness or flaw. So if someone's impeccably dressed, everything is in the right place, the right way. It's ironed. I don't even know where my iron is. So I don't do that. And so to be impeccable means to be mindful and concerned and put effort into doing the best you can. So be impeccable with your word. I want to say something about the word. Words matter to me. So it's not only just tell the truth, it's the words I choose to use. I use impeccable words, words that I can stand behind. So that's number 1. Is that going to be hard for you? Can you think of a reason why you shouldn't be impeccable with your word? Are you willing to practice it or is it bullshit? All right, number 2, don't take anything personally. That was my bullshit one. Don't take anything personally. I was like, that's just fucked up. It's not right. How can you say that? When someone screams at you, yells at you, calls your name, that's personal. And then, of course, I had to do a lot more understanding of this. And then I realized a couple of things. Sometimes people are yelling at me and it's not me they're yelling at. I mean, I'm standing there, but they're actually yelling at someone that did something to them that they couldn't yell at. And now I'm safe and I'm available. So it's kind of like having a relationship and, the one before you went bad. And then all of a sudden somebody puts the fork down the wrong way and you start getting all upset, but it's actually the person that's not there anymore that you're yelling at. And when we talk about projection, it just means that I could be a projector. We don't have those anymore. We used to have them, remember, slide projectors and everything. It just means that all the stuff that I'm concerned about, I'm actually projecting on you. That if I say that, you're a loser, it's because I'm scared that I'm a loser. So you got to really know where someone's coming from before you think everything is about you. So is that bullshit? Is that going to be hard to do? I still get a little upset. When I say a little upset, I feel the little fear and sadness when I make a mistake or I say something not right and someone gets upset with me. I still feel that little girl thing inside of me when my dad got so mad at me, even if I didn't do anything wrong, if I just chewed the wrong way. And so I want you to know I still practice this one. That's how deep-seated that is. All right. So write that down. Don't make assumptions. And assumptions are predictions. So this is going to be really hard because here's what your brain does. Your brain goes through experiences from pre-birth. That's right. What's going on inside the womb affects you all the way till this very moment. And what shit happens to you, the brain stores and tries to make sense of it so that if it happens again, or it looks like it's happening again, it can predict what you should do in order to keep yourself safe. So we never talk about that. We never say that some people say just the way I am. No, your brain is predicting things to try to keep you safe. And it's wrong a lot of the time. It's right sometimes too. So making assumptions based on what happened to you before is actually your brain trying to predict. How do you change those predictions? You have to do different to actually make different predictions in your brain. All right. You think you can do that one or no? How hard is it going to be for you to practice that? These are all practices. And last but not least, I'm definitely not doing this right now. This last one is always do your best. I'm not at my best. I have a cold in my nose and in my head. So I'm the best I can be with a cold. That's what I can do. And I like what Dustin wrote here. He goes, yes, yesterday was a shit show. Today I did my best. Tomorrow I'll do even better. I might not even go that far, Dustin. I might not be able to do better tomorrow. I might be able to do my best for the situation I'm in. So I take into context my best because as an overachiever and someone who never wants to make a mistake because I'm, so traumatized from my father, my best could kill me. And I mean that with all due love and respect. If I constantly achieve and have to do the best up here, not within the context of what's happening to me, that can cause a tremendous amount of anxiety and I can wear myself out. And I've almost done that a long time ago. So my best now is in relationship to the context. I'm 75 years old. I'm pretty cute for 75. And I can hold a 5-minute, 3-second plank. Maybe not every day, but I've done that. And so that's my best. And then if I got a sore back, my best that day might only be 3 minutes. So that's sort of what that's looking like. So, and tell me why maybe, like I just did. I said, no, maybe my best has to be within context. All right. So those are the 4 agreements. Now, wait, we got one more thing we got to do. With a raise of hands, and you can just do your regular hand. Like, let's try to be more human if we can. How many of you have made a promise to yourself and broken it? I'm going to raise both my hands because I've done it several times. Okay. Yeah.
Can you say that again, Susie?
Yes. How many of you have made a promise to yourself and then broken it, not followed through? Raise your hand. Yeah. So he's asking for an agreement. Now, an agreement is an interesting thing because I never think about an agreement with just myself. I think about an agreement with other people, right? Like Dustin and I agreed that we would read that thing, the disclaimer we talked about, and he sent me the email and asked me to agree with what he wrote. And I never actually thought of the idea that I'm making an agreement with myself. And yet I am. And I was thinking how many agreements I broke with myself and how many promises I broke with myself. And now this book, this guy is asking me to make an agreement. So I'm like, well, who am I agreeing? I guess I got to shake hands with myself, that I'm agreeing with myself that I'm going to do that. So I think that he was right in using the word agree. because I think we are terrified of promises. I think that word, when you were a little kid, how many people here were promised something by their caretaker, their adults, the people in their lives, or even a partner, a lover, and it was broken? Yeah. So there's that too. All right, quiet over there, quiet. That's my audience over there in the backyard. So I just want to say that that's an important thing, and it can actually stop us from, excuse me, shh, thank you. It can stop us. Words matter. So he used the word agreement. And I sometimes change it to a promise, because I'm now willing and able to make a promise to myself. I remember making a lot of promises to other people. Sometimes I followed through, sometimes I didn't. And when I started to be impeccable with my word, when I started to make a promise to others, I started to fulfill them. And the other thing I did was I really thought before I said yes. Like I used to say yes to everything. Like someone says, "Oh, will you help me move?" And then, yeah, sure, sure, sure. And then all of a sudden, not only am I going to break that agreement and that promise, I'm going to lie about it. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't make it. My car's not working. So this is a long time ago that I was thinking about how I was running my life. So this one book really stuck it to me a lot, because it caught me on a bunch of stuff that I felt justified in doing because of my context. So here's the question. Look over what you wrote down and raise your hand if you would like to share which one you don't like the most, or you like the least, I should say. Which one will be the hardest one for you to utilize? Which one do you think you should never utilize, or that it doesn't resonate with you and that maybe it's a bunch of bullshit? Okay. Who wants to raise their hand? Who wants to? Okay. Hugh Janis. Janis.
It's not quite how it's pronounced, but
Oh, how is it? Pronounce it.
Hugh Janus. Right, Dustin? See, Dustin finally got it. Yeah.
Oh, Hugh Janis.
Hey, you guys said we could use fake
Oh,
names.
I
So,
think I just got it.
yeah. But anyway,
Okay, I got it. That was a good one. I like that. I like that.
don't take anything personally.
Yeah.
Because during military service, I actually had, I had somebody who flat out, more than one time, just flat out said one, not to me directly, but to other people about me, and just said, I don't care how qualified he is. I don't like him and I want him to fail. I came into an assignment and this guy, he would try to write me up on anything he could get me on. And then one of the guys he hung out with, he said, look, he said, I don't know why, but he does not like you and has it in for you. In other words, there was no particular reason, nothing I said or did, but it's kind of like, oh, I don't like him, I'm going to attack him. And it's just kind of, and of course they were senior in rank, so I couldn't turn around and say F you too.
Yep.
So
it's awful. And it's awful because talk about not being able to change that. You can't control them. Here's the step that I had to learn to do. Even though they did that, and even though they projected onto you what they were struggling with, because that's really what it always is. The next practice of that, not taking anything personally, is to hold on to your own self-worth, regardless of what someone says. And you know who really showed that to me? His name is Charlie Plumb, and he was a prisoner of war in the Hanoi Hilton in the Vietnam War. He was a pilot, and he was there, I think, for 8 years. And when he came home, he was so excited he finally lived and came home, find out that his wife thought he was dead and she married someone else after all of that. And one of the things he said, and everybody asked him this, like it was at Boulder Crest, and everybody asked him and said, weren't you like mad at her? Or weren't you? He goes, no, I didn't take it personally. Like he didn't do anything wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. So it was a situation that he had to deal with, yet it was not personal. Was he sad? Of course. Was it upsetting? Of course. The difference was he was able to still care for her and care about her and not fall down behind it because he knew it wasn't personal.
Yeah, I
And
guess.
she did the best she could. And there's the other one, right? She did the best she could in those 8 years. And that's all. And again, there was nothing he could have done about it. There was nothing he could have done better. And so I really appreciate what you said and bringing that one up because
Well,
it's a hard one.
and I'd like to add just one thing. I mean, I didn't volunteer to go active duty I mean, I volunteered because a bunch of assholes attacked us on 9/11 and I wanted to step up. And to have to take time out of my day when I'm concentrating on mission to deal with some asshole who
It's
just
awful.
as a personal thing, it's like, I mean, who the hell promoted him above me? I guess is the big thing.
And that's the practice. So first feel that rush of resentment and it's unfair and bullshit. And then if you carry that, it affects everything else you do. And I won't give anybody all that power. I just won't anymore. So somebody didn't like me about a week ago and said I did something I didn't do. And I didn't even defend myself. That's how good I'm getting at it now. I was like, no, I don't have to defend myself. I know what I did and didn't do. Let her tell whoever she wants what I said and what I did. And the longer and the more days that I stayed calm about that, even towards her, because I had to see her every day, she finally came up to me after 5 days and smiled at me. And then I said, happy birthday. Like I instantly jumped right into giving her a happy birthday because it was her birthday the day before. I mean, I can't even tell you how good I felt about being able to get that far down the road with this idea of not allowing what other people do determine how I'm going to go through this day or this moment. George, what do you got to add? And then Paul.
Oh, okay. All I'm going to add is number three,
Yes.
and I think it's bullshit because it's so friggin' hard to deal with. Like just an hour before this session,
Yeah.
I had the event happen to me, and I'm still pissed off. Now, the other person said, "Look, I'm sorry, I'm reacting to something else." Da, 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 da. But you unloaded on me. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, yeah, and I'm pissed off, and I'm not happy about the fact that I'm pissed off.
Yeah.
So,
And yeah, it's so hard. And I want to say, you remember having that happen to you as a little boy.
yep,
Think of the first time dad blamed you, did something and didn't even apologize. Right?
yeah,
So, right? So if you think about all the times as a kid, because number three was don't make assumptions, right? And this person did and didn't, and then did apologize. That's what I heard you say, right? They actually said, I'm sorry. I would like, but you're still holding on to it.
I know.
I know it's crazy, right? It's crazy. I like it. I liken it to when someone steps on your foot accidentally. I can even get a little pissy if someone like bumps at me or hurts me. That first reaction is right, especially if you were beat as a child or picked on or bullied or whatever happened, even sexually assaulted. You can like react real quick when someone does something by accident. And then the person goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, they are. They are." And I'm going to say, George, you finally got the apology you deserve. It doesn't matter if it didn't come from your dad or from other people. When someone apologizes to you, I want you to know, bask in it. Like, like, like it's a bubble bath, like lay in it and enjoy it and say, thank you so much for that. Of course, bask when someone apologizes. I stand in front of Native American people a lot when I'm doing trainings, and the first thing I do is apologize for the genocide perpetrated on the indigenous people of this country. I can't even tell you how many people come up to me after and go, no one's ever apologized to us for that. And I go, well, let me be the first, not the last. Because I know, George, I got very few apologies for how I was treated as a kid. So you're right. So when somebody does something, it brings all that unfair, unjust, I call it justified anger that only hurts our hormonal system, our cardiac system, because all of that anger actually affects us physically in such a detrimental way. So I invite you to join when someone gives you an apology, thank them profusely, because it's obvious you haven't gotten enough and you deserved them, and we don't get them. I'd rather do the same way too when I'm in any kind of a mixed race group as well. I grew up in a Black family, and so I saw firsthand what happened. So I'm quick to apologize to any unjust situation. Any unjust situation. I can apologize even though I didn't do it. And I've had people say that to me, go, Susie, why are you apologizing? You didn't do it. I said, because you deserve an apology. I've apologized to people at MVP for what their parents did to them. Well, you didn't do it. I know I didn't, but I still can apologize because you deserve that. You deserve the apologies. Thank you, George. I can always count on you. Paul Mullen.
I know for mine is doing my best because I had to accept that I set a high standard for myself.
Yeah.
Like not to go for perfection, but for proficient
Ooh,
is something I try to like tell myself.
I'm going to steal that. Except I'm not going to steal. I'm going to say, Paul Mullen said, I love giving credit.
Yeah.
From,
So,
change from perfection to proficient.
yeah.
Wow. I've never heard that. That's brilliant. And I'm definitely
Because I
going to.
gotta, because like I just like in the army, it was always if you weren't 40 out of 40 or a 300 on your PT test, you weren't a good soldier.
Mhm.
And it was always, or like if someone's, hey, I improved my PT score by 25 points, but I'm like, but it's not a 270. Like people would say that, or like, it's just like someone improved. Like you just like, because it's not to your standard, and like admitting that I am human and
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do everything like perfect, perfect, perfect. Like I always say when I'm trying to close my rings on my Apple Watch, what I call my modern day bully, is like I want to do that goal because I want to get the closed ring for the week. But then I'm like, it's just that I want to be proficient at what I do, but I have no problem being like, oh, I'm a human. I'm not gonna be perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. If I mess up, I can say I'm my apology. Like I also picked up Susie Assist saying like, I'm sorry. I always say my apologies. Or like when like someone like like I had a soldier. She's doing a double eagle challenge like I am for the reserves, and she told me her oh sorry Mr. Mullen, I'm like her sister died, and I'm like my condolences to you and your family, because to me when someone says I'm sorry, I'm like, oh, did you cause my dad to die? You're a piece of shit. So that's why I don't like to say I'm sorry.
Yeah.
To me it's like you're taking accountability for what happened,
Oh,
right?
that's
So
interesting. Yeah.
so I always say my condolences.
Hmm.
Is just personally what I say, because I would say my condolences to you and your family for what you're going through. So I
It
always try.
saves your sorries then. It saves your sorries for when you really
Yeah,
do fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah.
When
So
you
like that's
really
what I would
are
say.
responsible.
Yeah. Like when she told me, I'm like, hey, I'm not gonna tell nobody because I was in that same I told her what happened with my dad when I found out
Mm.
she's gonna be at Battle Assembly in January. I'm like, hey, I'm not gonna tell the commander. I want you to be able to, because that's like your personal business.
Yeah.
I appreciate you telling me, but if you want to let him know, I'm not gonna tell nobody because I know what it's like when I wanted my privacy in the matter.
Sure.
And just doing like being reliable of how I operate and just doing my best and not letting like the shadows creep it. Like I told you about the voice,
That's right.
like
Yep.
that little dark voice when it comes to like if something bad happens to me,
Yep. And it's
it's
not
like
your voice. You
yeah,
were listening to adult voices long before you could talk.
yeah,
So remember, lots of the voices that we hear come from childhood, from parenting, from siblings, from friends, from school, from our culture. You know, I mean, a lot of voices can be in our head that are not even ours. So you have to really, really wonder where those voices came from.
and
Paul,
like perfect bothers me because you know what reminds me of like the weird perfect are like news anchors
yes.
because it's just like their voice and how they look and it's just like I'm interested in the darkness behind the facade. Like to me, like when they how they talk and it's like I don't like that perfect. Their
Yeah.
voice, like they have a certain voice, like they're not their
It
person.
must
It's
be
just
a
very.
Cleveland thing. It has to be a Cleveland thing, the world perfect. Because I just spent 2 weeks with Jake and his dad hates the word perfect. He's from
My
Cleveland.
dad's was spotless. That was his
Oh,
word.
that was his. Okay.
Like my room had to be spotless. Like
Yeah.
things was cleaned, it had to be spotless. That
Oh,
was. It still gives me hearing that
yeah.
word growing up. That was my dad's
That's
word
right.
that he would use. But like that's what he when he taught me cursive or writing my name, it had to be do it again, do it again. And my mom still talks about when I was in Boy Scouts, and the younger scouts would be lined up, and it's from my dad. And then they
That
had to
is.
sing, they had to say the Scott or the Boy Scout motto, or sing like say our thing, and they would stop, and I say go again, and they mess
Oh,
up, go again, and my mom's like, I
yes,
had
you
little
were
boys crying.
indoctrinated from your dad. That's
Yes, they
right.
were like it was. I have kids crying because I mean, like I even did it when I was an NCO. Soldiers learning the NCO creed. I don't
Yeah.
care how far they were deep in the creed. Stop and do it again. You're not doing it right. Like they would curse me out, and I'm like, no,
Yep, right.
you're gonna learn. You're gonna be better. But unfortunately, I have that because of how I was raised. Of like,
Yeah.
doesn't matter how deep you are into something, do it again. Or his slogan was because he was in construction was measure twice, cut once.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
his motto. So like
Right.
doing my best is like something I know. I bet like I said, instead of
Yeah.
perfection,
And
just
put
go for
into
proficient.
context, like what's so important is remember you do your best based on the context
Mhm.
of where you're at. Paul, thank you so much.
No,
That
thank you for letting me share.
great stuff. Proficient. I'm stealing that. Dustin.
Okay, if I can unmute myself, that'd always be a good thing. I was about to pull a Susie there. So for me, you said write down yes or no, and for me, the easy ones are the first one and the fourth one, like that. Be
Okay.
impeccable with my word. Like I try to do what I say. Like I
Mm-hmm.
try to mean what I say and do what I say, and just stick to my word and stick to it, and understand if I make a mistake. Okay, cool. I'm going to change it. Like I'm
Okay.
always willing to change, and I always try to do my best. But sometimes I take things personally and I want to choke people. And other times I make assumptions and then I have to catch myself. And when I catch myself, I'm like, you're making an assumption right now. You don't know. Like I start asking things, but I learned to be better at number two and number three by having open communication. For me, open communication is a lot. And like when I feeling like I'm taking something personally, I'm going to ask questions and I'm going to dig a little deeper to understand my feelings. So it's that way I don't take it personal.
That's right. Interesting you said about get more information. So one of the things when you're very anxious, which I have been most of my life based on the effects of the trauma, then I'm moving too fast. And then my brain is making very quick predictions. Remember, an assumption is a prediction that your brain's making in order to try to protect you. So I didn't have enough protection as a child. So it was up to me and my brain to try to figure out, right? So two things I had to do: slow down. You guys taught me slow is smooth, smooth is fast. So I want to be smooth all the time. Yes. So I want to do that. So slowing down helped me. So I didn't react anymore. I responded, and slowing down, Dustin, allowed me to take that pause, choose the words, and choose the question I wanted to ask to get more information. When I went through Al-Anon, because I grew up in a family that everybody struggled with something. So I went to Al-Anon, which is for people that grow up in families that are struggling with the effects of trauma, and they use drugs and alcohol and other things. And I can remember my sponsor telling me to get more information, get more information, get more information. Like I'd want to react. I'd want to say something or do something or make it. And she goes, okay, slow down. And what do you know? Did you ask a question? Did you? And it's also true with all the arguments that we have. I want you to think of the last argument you had with someone. Did you actually ask more questions or make a whole bunch of pronouncements? I would venture to say the argument was based on both people making statements and pronouncements, not asking questions. Oh, why did you say that? What made you think that? What else could we do? You know what I mean? Those are questions. That's called curiosity. When you're in a hypervigilant state, when you are, sad and scared, because that's what makes up that, and you're moving too fast, you want to find a conclusion, and your curiosity goes right out the window. So this idea of being able to take a breath, take a thing, and that's exactly what I did with that young woman. I let her just keep, saying I did this and let her freak out about it. And then she told her mom and blah, 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 and everything. And the person I was with, we just both looked at each other. We knew what had happened, and we just let her have it. I didn't have to defend myself. And George, that's part of that, right? You don't have to defend yourself, because when someone's not able to do their best, when they can't be impeccable with their word because they're too filled with fear and sadness, trying to have a conversation with them at that moment won't work. The other thing we forget, how many of you forget how great you are? Raise your hand if you constantly forget how wonderful you are. Carol, I don't see your hand up there. Carol, can you put both up, please? Thank you, Carol. I appreciate that. Right? Paul, you do that. You would sometimes forget how wonderful you are. So it's this idea that we forget how wonderful we are. We are so quick to judge ourselves. So Rhonda, I want to hear from you, and then we're going to hear from Bill Johnson, our new program director.
Hello, this is my first time on here, Suzanne.
Oh my gosh, and I'm swearing like somebody from Boston because I am.
No problem at all. Who doesn't swear?
Good.
Who doesn't swear these days? We all need to swear sometimes, just to be sure we okay. Yeah, so my thing is, and help me out with this, because I don't really take anything personally. I'm always trying to remain, be intentionally mindful of things that people say and do. So, because I feel like so many people carry so much shit around on them that when they say things or do things, I try not to take it personally, because that's them, it's not me.
That's right. What comes out of our mouth is about us. What comes out of someone else's mouth is about them.
Exactly. But I have been told that I'm an overthinker also.
Well, that's probably a good thing from your childhood, right? So you're the smart one in the family, like figuring shit out and making sure things are okay.
Has to fix everything, yeah.
Yeah, you're the fixer and the calmer and the, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that person, that one.
So that's a superpower.
Oh.
So, and when people say, oh, you overthink too much, it's because that scares them. They want to react, and you're taking too long because you're thinking, you're also giving people grace. You're also looking at both sides
Yes.
and making a measured response. They're like, come on, come on, come on. Don't stop thinking so much.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Okay.
I will say this, Rhonda. There is something to be said about being funnily, playfully spontaneous.
Mm.
Does that ever happen to you?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, because overthinkers, it's hard for them to like go, okay, I'm going to go dance in the aisle of the grocery store. Here I go. Right? Because you have to, what if someone sees me, blah, 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 like this. So, and I would imagine sometimes when you overthink something, you could think yourself right out of something nice for yourself.
Yeah, that has happened. Yeah.
Yeah, I can say, I bet that's happened. I really want that. Now you're in the store and I go, no, but then if I get it, and you can think yourself right out of it. And you'll say, oh, but my mom would love that. And then go grab something for somebody else and deny yourself
Yeah.
that thing. All right. Yeah, that's happened. I get that. I really do. Rhonda, we're so glad you're here. Thanks for being here. Thanks for coming. All right, Mr. Bill Johnson, which one's yours?
All right. So I think like Dustin, it has to be military, I think. Number one, impeccable with my word. And then number four, always do your best. I think that's just been ingrained with us. As we are taught, our word is our bond. It's the only thing that we have to give freely. Now, the don't take it personal. I'm in the agreement, I think, with a lot of folks here. I won't take it personal if you don't make it personal. And I think that
so that means that you're allowing it to be on the shoulders of the other person if they make it personal.
Well, and I think at least I was, and I think most military folks were, when we talk to soldiers or service members, we tried not to make it personal. We tried to make it, which I kind of hated sometimes, but we tried to make it open-ended instead of pointing at who should have been given it personal, if that makes sense.
It does. And I think one of the ways you guys do that, men and women in the military, is you call them soldiers or sailor. You don't call their name a lot of the time. You might say, so you're kind of trying to make it an every person. Do you know what I mean? Like, so that you're not. And I think that that's probably an attempt to do that. I think it's hard. Now, this is where it would be hard for me. You're on a mission and someone's not doing their job, and that could cause a lot of lives. Yeah. That's fucking personal to me.
Yeah.
That's when that's hard, right? That's when that's hard. And you still can stay measured and hold boundaries. So I want to say something about this because you're bringing up something, Bill, that's so important. Remember, I asked you where would be a time that you wouldn't. So I'll just give you a quick one going, be impeccable with your word. I told my grandson, I said, there's 2 times you can lie. He was little when I said this. And he went, really? And I go, yeah, there's 2 times you absolutely should lie. Because when's that, Jima? And I said, to save your life or the life of somebody else. Lie the best you can to keep yourself safe, right? I don't care. I hope you're the best liar in the world to keep yourself safe. And so build this idea that you're trying not to make it personal, yet that person is putting all of us at risk. And that's when that shifts for me to it isn't personal, and not but, unless I'm talking about your ass or mine. It's not personal, and you're gone. You're not here. Like, put your gun down. You're not helping because you're going to get us all killed. So I know how to be a protector and to make things safer. And sometimes I have to literally take charge so that people don't get hurt. Right? Yep. And if that person says, you made it personal, I go, yeah, that was personal at this point. I'm not mad at you. I didn't call you any names. I didn't do that. And you're not going to do that job right now because you'll put us all at risk.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a safety boundary for me.
Yeah. I will say on number three, too, number three, I think we've learned as adults to not make assumptions because everyone knows there's three sides to every story. So I think at least at my, I'm not quite there at the 78 age group, but I'm up in the 60 now. I've learned that there's 3 to 4 sides to every story.
Absolutely. I'm just moving a little bit so I can get my dog in here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Get in there. Come on. No, come. I got this brand new puppy and she doesn't seem to like, there you go. Get in there. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I think that's well said. And I really appreciate that, Bill. And you know what's interesting about this? And then Josh, we're going to go to you. These are daily, lifelong practices. People oftentimes say to me, when am I going to get better? Like, how long is it going to take till I feel better and I do better? And I go, oh, yeah, don't worry. Just the rest of your life. It's just the rest of your life you're going to do this. Because that's how long it takes humans to continue. Because guess what? You're going to change. The world is changing. I don't know if you've noticed. And so it's going to change. And therefore, these practices will have to fit into your context of your change. Right? So I just, as a nice older woman here, I was thinking about that and I go, yeah, I should lie about my age. A lot of people think I'm only 60. I could just do that. I could just lie about my age. And I go, no, hell no, I'm proud I'm 75. I'm good with that. Joshua, tell us what you want to share.
Hey guys, Joshua here. Yeah, I kind of want to work from the bottom up. So like always do your best. I
Mhm.
feel like that's something I attempt every day, but yeah, it's definitely circumstantial and day by day. I have a backpacking trip starting Wednesday that I'm training for, and as much as I want to push hard today and like I feel decent, I look at my metrics and I'm like, no, my body's saying don't do anything. In fact, it's saying stop and recover. So I'm taking this time to just do other things to stay productive as opposed to like more physical wear and tear on my body. And then that's
Wait,
ultimately the
wait.
best.
You're a man and you're actually listening to your body. Is that what
I
you're?
know, this is part of this whole coaching thing I've been through in the last
That
few
was
months. I'm
sexist
like,
with you.
yeah, no, it's true though. No, I used to push right through, and now it's like I've actually built a dedicated recovery day into my week. If I'm going 6 on, 1 off, I mean, yeah, definitely more recovery. That ultimately helps me do my best, recover and go back stronger.
Yeah.
Making assumptions. I will admittedly forecast and consider discussing something with someone. I'll think of things that they may respond with without being like too assertive and like applying my own ideas. But that's more, I guess, to prepare me further down in the discussion because I am that type of overthinker
Yeah, that
where
was a
they're
protection.
going like,
Yeah, it's a protection, Joshua. I just want to share with you. The only issue sometimes can be when someone's trying to change. So you're in a situation with your ex right now. So if you have been in a situation with her this way, like
Yeah.
this, and all of a sudden she takes a left-hand turn and you're still responding to her the way that you have predicted,
Yeah.
which usually happens, it doesn't give people or yourself the opportunity to see a change. So I'm trying really hard. Now, obviously, I'm a really good predictor. I can meet people and predict a lot of things about them based on
Sure.
how they're speaking, how they're acting, and all of that. So I have to balance that with I don't know everything, and they might change. So I can get on a phone call with someone yourself included, and say, oh, Joshua gets really upset if I say this and blah, 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 and this happens, and I'm going to not do that. And so I'm making all these predictions based on the past. And then all of a sudden, you're completely different. You had an epiphany. Something happened. And if I'm not capable of changing my opinion about you, my prediction about you, my assumptions about you, it's going to make it harder on you and me.
Yeah.
So I try to do both. It's a balance for me and it's a practice. How much do I sit with someone, even my own family members or whatever, and I'm thinking, oh, here they go. Isn't that funny how we always say that, but here they go again, right? Here's what's going to happen. And then I go, okay, stop, Susie, just listen, because you might hear something different from them. So I try real hard to do both.
Yeah. No.
And Yoda would say, there is no try, only do. So I'm doing it. I'm doing that because I listen to Yoda.
Thank you. I mean, take anything personally. I don't typically take anything personally, especially in a business environment. When I was corporate, even in healthcare, if patients would get upset, I wouldn't take it personally. However, it does cross the line when it's someone who I actually care about and I have like a deep amount of respect for. If they were to say something offensive to me, then yeah, it's a direct personal attack.
So how do you respond when someone says something that's really disrespectful or
yeah.
what do you do?
So I put it into practice the book Thinking Fast, Thinking Slow, like we were talking about earlier, and I got that out of treatment. So whereas like 2024, 2023 was all thinking fast, just off the cuff responses.
Yeah.
I noticed that stopping and thinking slow. So what I'll generally do is take a short pause. And then I think it's kind of like pause, notice, choose from UHP and the other Bowler Trust and stuff. It's sort of a pause, notice, choose. And I say, okay, how am I going to respond to this? Okay, don't get angry, first of all, and then think this through. Why are they thinking about it? And then I start to try to understand their perspective and sort of like speak from their side without making any assumption.
Yeah.
And so I could better understand where they're coming from.
Yeah.
And then that often helps me to then clarify where I'm coming from and that we're both kind of making poor assumptions and like, no, this is what we're actually speaking to.
Sure.
But that's when there's conflict, generally these days, the only conflict I have is my ex, thankfully. And we have no communication. So that's decent.
So that's something to work on, that co-parenting.
Yeah.
It's something to have some hope.
Yeah, and that's definitely to come. I would say that like I can't just put our marriage behind me after like 13 years of marriage and 17 of being together like overnight. So of course I'm gonna have like this transition period where I kind of like move past it. But I've already, like my therapist already recommended for me, don't even speak her name. Like she's not in conversation. She really just doesn't exist. She's your child's mother. That's it. I don't want to hear anything about her. Like we're cutting her out of your life.
Yeah. Well, it's what he's trying to do or she's trying to do is get you to focus on yourself first. Because the only person you really can control is you. Joshua, I'm going to get Lorenzo in here and then Patrice.
One quick point.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Impeccable with your word. Promises never kept when I was a kid. So with my kids, I always made a point to keep my promises.
There you go.
That works both ways though. So if I tell them something's coming their way, it will come. But if there's a consequence to an action, then that's also coming their way.
Yeah.
So I don't break promises either way. I'm extremely adamant about that.
I love that. And I always say, if I say I'm going to do something, it's coming your way. And right, two things can coexist at the same time. I had to learn that. They're not either or, they're both. So thank you, Joshua. That's great.
Thank you.
Lorenzo and Patrice. Lorenzo.
All right. Okay, real quick. Don't make assumptions. One of the issues that I have I have to be very aware of is nonverbal cues. When I meet somebody and I can read nonverbal, goes back to being an embedded training guy and having to work with the locals few years in Afghanistan, and I've learned to survive off of reading body language.
That's true.
And so I have to be very careful. I also, it's kind of strengthened with me and the horses because I walk in there and, everything is either picking up shit or body language with them. So
Right.
usually sometimes both in the same action. So it's one of the things I have to be aware of. And I do have to slow my process down.
Yes. Absolutely.
And I have to at least be aware of what that is. So
Yeah.
just want to throw that out there.
I love that. I love that. That's the hardest thing and the best practice for me. Patrice, what would you like to add?
Sorry, had to unmute.
Mhm.
So for me, I'm thinking that maybe because I'm doing number 3, I am making assumptions, or
Mhm.
maybe that's the reason I'm taking things personally. So for an example, I think that my husband probably knows me better than anybody else. So if he says something to me that he knows is going to hurt my feelings, I think he knew it was going to hurt my feelings. So I'm assuming, he knew.
Yeah.
So, that's just things I can't change. So
Well, wait. Let's look at that for just a second. What if the next time he does that, it doesn't hurt your feelings? Because what came out of his mouth is about him, and it's not about you. And whatever reason why he wants to hurt your feelings is because he's either feeling inadequate, he's feeling like he's lost power, he's somehow needs some kind of a grudge or something. I'm wondering if you would be willing to practice that when he does say something that can hurt your feelings, and you go, you know what? That's all about him. That isn't about me. And
I can try, but again, I'm assuming those things about him.
Yeah, I would think.
I mean, so I really can't do one without the other.
Yeah, I mean, I just had this happen, and so I'm thinking, boy, if we really understood that someone was trying to hurt us because they're insecure, because something's happening in their life, and they know that hurts me, and yet they're still doing it, then that's about them. And I don't have to do anything about that other than remove myself at that moment or say, ouch. A lot of times I just say, ouch, when someone does something like that. Just go, ouch. I go, what? What? Oh, nothing. You just happen to step on my emotional toe. And then, but
I'll do that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's that kind of thing where I am done giving up my well-being because someone isn't kind at that moment and they're saying something that's hurtful.
Okay.
I'm done. I'm done with giving up my well-being, that moment in my life, because I don't know how many more I have, giving up that moment because someone is being unkind. That's about them.
Okay.
And I just it's just something to practice, because I'm so grateful you said that, because I can remember those days. And there's a freedom with it that is so profound.
I'll practice.
Yeah, just remember it's about him. Dustin, let's stop the recording.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah, stop the
everybody live, I'm
recording.
going to stop the recording. If you are here watching us later on, thank you for joining us. Check out the next video. For everybody live, please stay on so anybody who wants to speak has the chance.